Nurul Izzati binti Zakaria, and I, your MC for today's event. I feel privileged to extend my warm greetings to our distinguished speaker for today's workshop, Mr. Amierul Azraie bin Mustaza. I also would like to welcome all attendees who are present today for job hunting, LinkedIn, or left out workshop. We feel very honored to have all of you here with us today. Before we proceed with today's event, let us all begin with the recitation of Al-Murfuqain Al-Fatiha. To begin, please allow me to humbly introduce our speaker for today, Mr. Amierul Azraie bin Mustaza. Mr. Amierul Azraie is currently the Chief Operating Officer, COO of Carpedia. His secondary education at the Malay College Kuala Kangsar holds a Bachelor of Engineering Mechanical with Honour from University Technology Petronas UTP, Master of Mechanical Engineering from University Technology Malaysia UTM, and Master of Business Administration from Brunel Business School, Brunel University London. Prior to be assigned as a COO at Carpedia, Mr. Amierul was an executive at Senior Vice President SVP, Office of Offshore Construction and Subsea Services OCSS at Sapura Kencana Petroleum Berhad SKPB before he continued his MBA degree. Upon his return, he worked in the HR department looking after strategic initiative and later on performing operational activities for the division. In 2016, he joined Pure Circle Trading Sdn Berhad, PCT, and took up a role as the HRIS manager, and a year later, he was assigned the role of Senior Manager, Corporate Human Resources. In August 2020, he joined PMM Oils and Fats Sdn Berhad as the Group HR Business Partner to enrich and widen his experience as a HR professional before accepting the offer as the COO with Carpedia. Mr. Amierul also fills his free time by helping people through personal career, coaching mainly in the areas of CV writing, job hunting, interview preparation, salary negotiation, and career development. Thus, he is incredibly experienced in career development. Without any further ado, I will now hand over the floor to Mr. Amierul Azraie bin Mustaza to enlighten us with his speech. Please be welcome.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Izzati, for the introduction. It is an honor for me to be here today, speaking to, I think, close to 200 people of you. Before we begin, I think what I would like to share with all of you, I do hope that everyone is doing well, despite the pandemic and the rising cases of COVID-19. So I do hope everyone is doing fine, and thank you for attending this session. I'm given the topic to share with all of you in terms of LinkedIn, and what I will do, I will share what kind of how to first set up your profile, and then I'll share with you in terms of how you can apply for jobs using LinkedIn, and I will highlight why it is important to have LinkedIn if you are applying for jobs in the current job market situation. Okay, so to begin with, allow me to share my slides. Okay. Share screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Okay. All right. So to start with, what I will do, I will go through with you yeah, right. So Izzati has explained to you my career progression. So I had about 12 years of working experience, mainly only the first 3 years in engineering before I moved to management. And I spent a good about 5 to 6 years in HR, and also I spent about the last 6 years as career coach, helping experienced professionals and uh, fresh graduates to realize their potential and to secure their dream jobs, right? Okay. So this is the session outline that was given to me. So we will take a short break around 3:35. So in between, I'll speak about LinkedIn, and then at 4:30 p.m. I'll open the floor for Q&A session. Okay, so to start with, why LinkedIn is important, and I do hope by now that all of you, close to 190 participants that I can see here, you by now, hopefully you already know what is LinkedIn as a start. So and I'm here to share first why LinkedIn is important. I could give at least 7 reasons why LinkedIn is important. This is due to the fact that LinkedIn is the largest networking site for professional, with I think now having about 600 to 700 million members globally. So it is important because you can easily gain exposure to certain group of people, mainly the recruitment people who involved in recruitment, talent acquisition, talent sourcing and whatnot. You will also gain exposure with the people who will be hiring you, which who we call hiring managers. Then also you can easily reach out. You can easily network with people like all the decision makers, the CEO, CTO, CFO, all sort of the C-suites, top management level and whatnot. And then the second, I think, because it's a free space, you can demonstrate your knowledge, you can share whatever that you are going through. And I think by doing so, then it'll help to build and boost your credibility. When I started to share about career, about career development, CV writing, LinkedIn, interview and whatnot, I was nobody. I'm still nobody today, but at least it's a free space that I can utilize to share my experience. And from there, people start to follow and people start to ask and people start to look up to you for something. So I think that's a great place for you to really share what you know, because I think everything that any one of us know something, and it is worth to share on LinkedIn so that you can build and boost your credibility. You can also access to a lot of jobs through job board and job posting. And then it's about you to gain social proof for your skills and talent. You can also use LinkedIn to follow companies, and then to also add and follow hiring managers, recruiters and influencers. Okay, so I'll share with you the stats for 2020. It will be a quick one. LinkedIn, as of 2020, has already reached more than 500 million members globally, with close to 6 million members in Malaysia. So I already have LinkedIn account, I think, since even before I went to do my MBA in UK in 2013. So I can safely say that when I did my MBA back in 2013, the number of members in Malaysia is only about 2 to 3 million. So I think it has grown significantly, because if you take population of Malaysia, we are now about 32 million members. So you can say that at least one over 6, about 1/6 of our our members, our population is already on LinkedIn. Okay, so this is the very reason why I think you should not be left out in using LinkedIn. So what I will do, I think I will start by giving you the guidance so you can listen. And if you have a browser in front of you, you can also, multitasking while trying to figure it out on how to start creating a profile. Because when you create LinkedIn profile, it is about not just creating an account, because this is not like other things like Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or TikTok or whatever other accounts, but this is an account that you should create, and then you should update it until you reach to what it is called all-star profile. So I am here today to explain to you how you can follow step by step that I will show after this, on how to build and create a LinkedIn profile step by step. And then from there, I will also share and show you some practical activity, depends on the timing, the time that we have, to give you some insights on how you can use LinkedIn to full advantage in terms of job hunting. Okay. All right, so I'm sharing here the steps in creating a LinkedIn profile. So once you sign up for LinkedIn, basically you should take the first step. The first step is to choose the right profile picture for LinkedIn, and then you may add a background photo. Okay. And then you can make your headline, which should be more than just a job title. And then you can customize your public profile URL. Okay, so these are the 4 steps that you can follow as a start. And I'm here sharing one of the screenshot of my previous from my previous talk to UTP student, whereby I think this lady, Gianna Marina, has what I think a good profile in terms of selection of profile picture. Although I think it can be improvised a bit in terms of making the face, orang kata, more clear, bigger, so it will be easy to recognize. But I think the background photo is, makes sense for her, because back then she was looking for internship, so it makes sense for her to have a simple background photo like what I share here, with her email address, so that it will be easier for her to be contacted. And also in terms of her headline also makes sense, because she mentioned when who is she, in terms of internship seeking, and what was the period, and then what she got to offer in terms of her degree. All right, and then I think it is also important for you to know that you can also customize your public profile URL. So because when you create your LinkedIn profile, you will get quite a lengthy public profile URL. So this is the public profile that you can customize, and normally I would suggest, just cut it short to your first two names. Like myself, Amierul Azraie, I make my LinkedIn public profile URL is linkedin.com/in/Amierul Azraie. All right. So later on, perhaps after the break, I'll show you some practical on how to to work on LinkedIn. But for now, let me just walk you through the steps further. So these are the 4 steps, followed by basically on LinkedIn, there's also a section called about. So you can treat this section as your summary, as your about me, as your perhaps whatever you call, like as your pitch elevator, as your sales pitch and whatnot. But basically it is about telling other people who are going to go through and read your profile, to give a snippet about yourself, who you are as individual, who you are as a professional, and make it into some sort of storytelling, so that people can really connect with you and have a quick idea who you are, without having to go through in details of your experience. So that's the purpose of having a well-written summary. Okay. Yeah, so here I'm sharing with you one of the summary of my ex-boss, called Amber Dosi. So you can check her out, and I think she writes a very good summary, and hence why I'm sharing hers with all of you. Okay, and then the next steps, LinkedIn also, I think sometime this year, introduce what it is called a featured section, whereby you can showcase your work. When I say you can showcase your work, you can showcase in terms of posts, articles, links, or media. So like like myself, what I'm doing here, I just showcase a few articles that I think worth to put there so that people can read up. I also share some of the achievements in the current company that I work. I mean the articles that are being published in the digital space, so that I can showcase it to other people. Okay. Right. And then next, I think is about to write your experience. So if any of you have done any part-time jobs, have completed your internship, is doing like your summer break, punya intern and whatnot. This is where you can, there's a section called experience, and I think you can then further complete your profile by writing down those experience. So basically there's a sub steps for this particular section, whereby first you should link your job to the company. So for example, you are doing as a practical trainee or operations trainee in company called Pure Circle, then you can write operations trainee Pure Circle, and then you can start then giving an overview what are you doing. So in this case, I'm showing my ex-boss, Amber Dosi, experience profile, because I think she writes nicely in terms of how she links between her job as VP of Group HR to the company called Pure Circle. And then she also write an overview of her role, whereby she served as the head of the HR function for Pure Circle group of companies across multiple global locations. And then she used verbs or actions words to start explaining about her duties and responsibilities, like selecting and implementing the company's first global HRIS and introducing an enhanced global payroll system, and those that she mentioned. And then she used the keywords, keywords like as an HR, she used the keywords like HRIS, payroll system, remuneration program, code of conduct, performance management system, and whatnot. So use keywords, and then use the correct tenses, because in this case it's about using those, the like selecting, redesigning, advising, she's using the correct tenses. And then you can front load your achievements, meaning that you showcase what you have done and accomplished, like launching, designing. Again, it's a verbs, action words, but it shows that you have done or accomplished something by telling immediately what you have done. And then you should check for spelling and grammar error, and then you can also add supporting information in here. Okay. And then after experience, you can also create a section called education. So I think this is pretty straightforward. And then you can, you know, include your highest qualifications up to perhaps like myself, I put until my secondary school. All right. And then what else? Okay, education is straightforward. Okay, next. Okay, I think it is important for all of you to also put up your relevant skills, and once you put up all your relevant skills on LinkedIn, this is something for you to take note. On LinkedIn, you can put up to 50 skills, and make sure when you put up those skills, choose the skills that are closely related to you, to your current job. Because for example, I had experience as an oil and gas, in oil and gas industry as a piping engineer. But if you see, these are my skills in at this particular moment, and you can see that there are none that talk about engineering, because you know I've left engineering since 2012, and I think it is not worth mentioning those skills because I am no longer going back to engineering. So my focus is to showcase my relevant skills as an HR, as well as a people who are climbing up the management career ladder. Okay. What else? So basically, why skills? Sorry. Hello. Okay. Right. So why skills? Why this particular section is important? Because if we got time, I will show you how the other side is working. For example, Recruiter, they also have their own LinkedIn platform called LinkedIn Recruiter. So from there, I perhaps I can show you how it works and why it is important to have a comprehensive skills. Comprehensive list of skills on your LinkedIn. Okay. And I think lastly, it's about you can start to give and request a recommendations. So I just show one or two of my recommendations that I received from my coachee and my my former subordinates. So again, this is a tools that can, you know, that is good for you to to build and have the social proof of who you are as an individual and as a professional. Okay. So perhaps what I can do, before I move to that, I can show you a real example. Sorry, I just check the chat. Okay, maybe I can just take a quick question here. Adakah banyak industri guna LinkedIn untuk mencari pekerja? Mengapa mereka guna LinkedIn? Apa lebihnya LinkedIn? Should I put my high school history and achievement in my profile, and how much the impact? Okay, I'm going to answer the first one. Have I wait? Yeah, so if I want to answer soalan daripada Hafiz Legacy, there are a lot of companies nowadays using LinkedIn. Again, because you know it is about, I think about looking for talents. You know, recruitment is never been easy for HR. So when you are looking for talents, you want to look for talents at the place where you can find them the most, you know. So and LinkedIn is one of the place, like you can see here in terms of the statistics. It makes sense to be on LinkedIn, and it makes sense to looking for talents on LinkedIn. Okay. And later perhaps I can show you some evidence about that. Why they are using LinkedIn? Because like I said, there are a lot of there are a lot of industries, companies who are on LinkedIn, and And then why they are using LinkedIn? Again, because talents, professionals are on LinkedIn. Although, for example, there are a lot more people on Facebook, for example, that because Facebook already have a population of about 1 billion, the size of perhaps India and China. But Facebook is more on socializing, and although Facebook has become a place that they try to be anything and everything, where you can post for jobs and where you can do selling on Facebook. But I think because it is not specific for professionals, it makes more sense to also do the same thing over on LinkedIn. So if you ask the advantage of using LinkedIn, what I can say that there are a lot of companies, and then there are a lot of people who are on LinkedIn, and it makes sense to be on LinkedIn because you can connect with anyone that you want to connect, from the top guy, the C-suites, the top management, the VPs, the directors, up to those who are still looking, who just started university degree and going for internship and whatnot. Then Siti Sarah, should I put my high school history and achievement in my profile? To begin with, if you are a fresh graduate, I don't see why not. So in terms of the impact, I think the impact is there, but not as much as if you have some sort of practical training and part-time working experience listed out on your LinkedIn. Okay. Okay. So what I will do now, just to answer Hafiz's question, what I can do. Okay. I do hope. Can all of you see my screen, my LinkedIn screen?
Yes.
Can?
Yes, can.
Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
So we have about 30 minutes. So let me start showing some of the practical stuff, if all of you don't mind, because I think rather than I'm giving you a boring talk that you cannot have the actionable items or things to bring home. So I rather go on LinkedIn directly, and then show you how to go about it. So to answer Hafiz just now, what I will do, if here is my LinkedIn profile. How many of you have LinkedIn profile? Here I can see that 223 people. Maybe all of you can reply quickly on your chat who have your LinkedIn profile. And if you have your LinkedIn profile, perhaps you can do this. You can click your name.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Actually, we cannot see your LinkedIn profile.
Oh, you cannot, eh? Okay, thank you for saying that. Let me try. How can I do this? How can I share? Can you see this?
Yes. Yes, no, it can, sir.
Now, boleh, eh?
Yeah, boleh.
Right. Okay. So what I want all of you to do now, to start with, so that maybe later I can pick one or two case study. This is my LinkedIn profile. So if you select your name on the URL, this is what I mean by customizing your. I have already customized my LinkedIn URL. So I copy, and I want you to reply like this. Yes, this is my profile URL. Okay. So if all of you can do this, at least I know that your URL, and perhaps later I can use it. So maybe while I'm working through the LinkedIn, all of you can respond like how I put on the chat just now. Okay. Right. So the first few steps that I mentioned just now is basically to have a clear picture. So this is my picture, and this is my background photo. And then what I want to show here, just as a start, on your LinkedIn profile, you can, you can edit the background. If you see all these pencil icon, this is where you can you can edit lah. Okay, you can edit and put your background photo. You can also edit and put your name and headline, and then your position, your education, your country, region, your locations, and then the industry that you are in. So to answer how many company or industries, I mean, as a start, these are all the options of industries. How LinkedIn capture, I think that's a lot. All right. So that shows how many industries that possible to be on LinkedIn. And then once you have done completed that, you can save. Okay. If you follow me, what I want to show also is that I want all of you to edit your public profile URL so that you have a nice, public profile URL. So if all of you are on the browser, you can open your LinkedIn, open the browser and open your LinkedIn. I'll show this quickly, and I hope all of you can follow this, because this will be, I think, something quick that I would do and will be useful for you later on. So on the top right, you can edit your public profile URL. All right. So you click there. Can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Right. So on the top right, you can see edit your custom URL. You can see this. Edit your custom URL on your top right. Okay. So you click the pencil icon. So this is where you customize, you edit and customize your public profile URL. Once you have done that, you can click save, right? And then once you have saved it, you click on me, and then you view profile, and you will see that it is already shortened, right? So the shortened URL is the one that I want you to respond to chat, and I want you to share your public profile URL that you have shortened. Can we take 3 minutes? 3 minutes for all of you to do this. Possible?
Sir Amierul,
Yes.
what if I'm using phone? So where's the feature? May I
Kalau
know?
phone, if phone you cannot edit using phone, you must edit it through desktop or laptop or browser.
Oh, I see. All right, thank you.
All right, so let me see. Okay, all right. Okay, I saw a few already. Right, so macam Rizatul Zulkifli, later you can find some background that makes sense for you. Okay, good. Okay, all right, keep it coming. So I want all of you to at least do this, experience this, try to shorten the public profile URL. If you want me to show it once again, I will try to show it here once again. So on your profile, you can see edit public profile URL. You click it. Once you click it, then there's a edit your custom URL. You click the pencil icon, and then you put whatever name you want to put. And then once you have done it, you click save. And then once you have saved it, what you can do, you can click me, and then you can view profile, and it will bring you to your profile again, but this time with the URL that has been shortened. Okay, good. I'll see many. Keep it coming, so that at least I know that for today's session, at least you learn something. Okay, so that's about shortening LinkedIn profile URL. So, and then about background photo, what I will do, it will be a simple one. There's a lot of articles. So what you can Google is good LinkedIn background photo. There's a lot of article. I think this is a good one. So what I will do, I will copy this, and I will share to, where is my, I will share to the chat so that all of you can refer to that link. All right, so basically, this is a good one for, it gives you idea what kind of, profile, LinkedIn background profile that you can use. It gives example of workspace, about benefit your client desires, city landscape, physical architecture, people you serve, course or mission, tools of the trade, your product or services, you doing your work, and any solid color or abstract or texture. So there are a lot. So even where to find photos also, they mention where you can, ada Shutterstock, ada banyak lah. I mean all the site for you to find photos lah. Okay. Alright, so coming back to LinkedIn. Alright, so you have done that. What I want you to do next is to I think what I will do after the break, I will show you on how to start job hunting. But to answer tadi Hafiz ke Hafizi punya soalan, how many companies are on LinkedIn? What I will do, if all of you have done edit the LinkedIn profile URL, I want all of you to give it a try. Okay, you go to the feed page, you click, you tekan, you just go to the search function, you just put your browser there, and then you just press enter. Right, when you press enter, this is what it is called, global search header. What I want you to do now is to click companies. Can all of you follow so far? Ke tak follow?
Can.
Follow or
Yes,
not?
sir.
Follow, Alright. So to answer Hafiz ke Hafizi punya soalan tadi, there are about 59,800,000 results of companies who have LinkedIn, who have page or who have company profile or company page on LinkedIn. So I think 59 million or close to 60 million is a lot. And if you narrow down to location, you can narrow down to Malaysia. There are 73,000 companies with LinkedIn page. They can be global company, but they also have, what it means by this is that, for example, IBM, it is known that they are international company with presence in Malaysia. The same goes for Nestle, for Huawei, for Accenture. So you just imagine, I mean, don't you think that this is a great tool, a great platform that tak payah pening-pening kepala nak cari mana tempat yang ada banyak companies. This is where you can easily find at least 73,000 companies in Malaysia. All right, then what I want you to do, definitely, within the time that given to me, I cannot teach all of you everything, but my suggestion to all of you, start to explore the search function, especially the filters. There are a lot of filters, and if you orang kata fluent or have the proficiency in terms of using the filter, you can actually do a lot of things to have a certain specific target of companies, industry, company size and whatnot. Okay. All right. So I hope I answer the question of Hafiz or Hafizi just now. Okay. So coming back to your profile, I just want to walk you through the 10 steps. So we have completed the first 4 steps. The following step is about me. So definitely my about me is not the the greatest one, you know, because at this point of my career, I just want to focus on, you know, providing career coaching, consulting, training, and other inquiries related to career. So I'll just put a very simple one, which I think suits me in terms of having my profile on LinkedIn and how people can easily reach out to me, right? But for example, like I mentioned earlier, this is the profile of my ex-boss. So you can see that again, her about is, you know, pretty well written. So I think about me or summary on LinkedIn, it is not like really formal. So you can have a bit of, you know, casual in the way you expressing yourself. So I think Amber did well for her about me, right? And then once you have done that, let me go back to my profile. And then it is about you know, showcasing, having some featured articles or posts or digital media. So like me, this is what I'm choosing so far in terms of featured. So I think I have 6 featured. How many? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 featured post, right? And then here is where it captures your activity. And then what else? And then I think to add or edit experience, I think it is pretty straightforward. You can, you know, add, you know, your title, your employment type. There's a lot nowadays: employment type, full, part-time, self-employed, freelance, contract, internship, apprenticeship, seasonal. And then you can also then, you know, make sure when you type any company, make sure dia akan keluar that particular page lah, so that you can connect, you know, so that the company's name will appear, because sometimes the company name is not appear because you don't choose the right one. You don't choose the right one. And then you can select location Kuala Lumpur, and then again they will give you some suggestion. You just pick one of them, right? And then you can put the start date and date or present, and then you can give the headline and description, and then you can even, you know, add media, upload link. You know, for example, you want to showcase that you have done certain things. This is where people, I mean, from, for example, from art background or art stream, ataupun, you know, creative industry, but not necessarily limited to those people, that you can upload you punya portfolio, you punya videos, you punya whatever, you know, and LinkedIn make that possible. So this is like your online digital platform whereby you can showcase the best about you. I think it meet the purpose of today's session, you know, that LinkedIn or left out, right? Okay. And then this card. So again, you can, you know, further explore, and you can see that, you know, all of your experience you can actually apa namanya, rearrange. So make sure when you rearrange, make sure you rearrange it to be reverse chronological order, meaning the recent one at the top followed by the rest. As for me, I just list out my career experience as well as all my coaching and training experience, you know, the invitation that I received to become adjunct lecturer from UTP, and then my career coach with HR used to be HRDF, now called as HRD Corp, you know, and all the pro bono that I've done, freelance pro bono with like Talent Corp, Future Lab, and my past career lah, right? Okay, and then I think that's quite pretty straightforward. Unless all of you have the questions, you can put on the chat. I'll take a look shortly after this. And then I think education is also pretty straightforward. Again, if you see school, degree, field of study, start date, bila, apa benda semua, grade, and then activities, you can mention activities, you can description. And then I think just now there's a question whether you can put, you know, anything. You can also, you know, add all the media that you want to add. You can add a link, you can upload a media. So you can do this as well, right? For education. All right, so let me see. Okay, I have a question. I had a non-career related part-time job. Should I put it in my profile? Okay, just to quickly answer Hani's question. yes, I think you should put your experience, whether it is practical training or part-time jobs, and put it on your profile so that people can see that you have done something during semester break, during your free time lah, to occupy yourself. But then don't just add you punya part-time job dengan hanya add part-time job, but what you can show adalah how those experience add value to yourself, what you gain from those part-time jobs. I think that's what important. I will give you a quick link of what you can do. We put on the chat to answer Hani's question. All right. So basically, it is about identifying what it is called competencies. Competencies ni adalah knowledge, skills, dan abilities. So competencies adalah knowledge, skills, and abilities. So whenever you want to write anything, especially for fresh graduates I understand that you might not see the relation of what you have done in your part-time job and whatnot. That's why you even call it non-career related part-time job. But think about what you have gained, what you have learned, because for example, maybe you buat kerja sebagai cashier, but from doing a part-time job as a cashier, apa yang I can think that you learn or gain adalah you learn how to on communication skills, how you deal with your customers during the checkout, how you ensure that you provide an excellent customer service, so that people won't queue that long, and how do you ensure that you do not miss out to check out all the items, so that the company or the retail shop is not making any loss. So there are a lot of things you can talk about what you learn, but mainly in terms of perhaps time management, in terms of communication skills, interpersonal skills, and whatnot. How about join part-time job as memasak agent or shekli? So yeah, I don't see why not, because again, if you are doing all this drop ship, all these sales, punya benda, again you boleh you can tell people what did you learn, from that. You learn how to deal with people, you learn how to deal with customers, you learn how to perhaps take feedback ataupun handle issues or situations, so those are the things that you learn and gain, and that what makes you someone that is better than people yang memang tak pernah buat apa-apa, because that's what we mean by experience lah. Okay, all right. So I will then show you about skills because kita ada lagi about 12 minutes. So for the skills, what I want you to see here, when you again click the apa nama ni, when you click the pencil icon, you can add up to 50 skills. So as you can see here, I have optimized 49 out of 50. So you can either reorder your skill. So link ini memang semua benda boleh reorder. So you can reorder it. But you can also add new skill. So cara nak add new skill ni, sebagai contoh, you masukkan je satu nama, sebagai contoh management. Sebagai contoh management. So they will come up with a lot of suggestion of what kind of management skills that you have. Sales management, time management, team management, account management, event management. There's a lot. Okay, so dengan ambil just one keyword je, you dah boleh ada banyak suggestion and you can choose appropriately. Another example adalah, for example, analysis. So there are again a lot of analysis, data analysis, financial requirement, competency. Again, these are all the skills that I think what LinkedIn did is they take into account all of the things that people submit or update on their profile, and then they make recommendation and suggestion based on what have been used the most. Okay, right. So why this is important, because that's on another side. Okay, let me finish first. Almost finished. So what you can do once you add the skills, you can also ask people to endorse. So this is just to show you, these are ini semua my endorsement lah. For example, compensation and benefits, 85 people endorse me. Employee benefit design, 79 people endorse me. So all of you here, you ada 221 participants at this point of time. Kalau you update all the skills, you can just cross your profile and minta favor lah masing-masing, endorse each other as a start, or minta lecturer endorse you. You can do that. And then last kali, I think it's about recommendation. So it's about you can also always ask for recommendation, but if you ask me, the best way to ask for recommendation is basically to draft one for yourself, and then pass it to the person that who you want to give the recommendation. Perhaps orang yang memang tahu you at least sikit-sikit lah. So as an example, this guy Satish is one of my coachee that I helped to make a career change recently. So he asked for my recommendation. I said, why don't you write one, and I will just edit and put forward the recommendation. Apa namanya? But I mean, once I have edited a bit, then I'll put forward the recommendation. So this is basically, most of them are Satish word, but I just edit it a bit here and there, and this is the one of the recommendations that I have given to him. Okay, all right. And then I think the rest are pretty straightforward. So what I will show you also, why the reason why I say it is important for you to update skills is because this very particular reason. And luckily that I just give it a try to use LinkedIn Recruiter free trial, which ended tomorrow, so I still got a chance to show you. So basically, this is LinkedIn Recruiter. Can you all see this LinkedIn Recruiter page?
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Can, yeah.
Okay. Many of you are coming from which background of study?
Accounting.
Accounting. Okay.
And history.
Religious.
Okay. Let's say I take account, for example. All right. So this is the other platform called LinkedIn Recruiter. Okay. So LinkedIn Recruiter, and the one that I'm having is just a very basic one. That's why it is called LinkedIn Recruiter Lite, and this is the free one. The LinkedIn Recruiter yang berbayar punya, yang bayar dalam USD dollar, is expensive, and the robustness of that platform, I think, is very robust nowadays and can do a lot more search. What I want just to give you a glimpse about this, and I do hope by now, by 3:35, all of you will decide that, okay, LinkedIn definitely the best platform for all of you to be here. Adalah, for example, if I search account executive, and I put the location Malaysia, I can easily find 2.3 million candidates. All right. So if I narrow it down to Greater Kuala Lumpur, I have 17,000 candidates, and I can further filter. So further filter ni, kalau you tengok, if I take advanced, boleh nampak advanced ya? Can everyone see?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So one of the thing that you can actually do, so you can see, ini again lah baru LinkedIn Recruiter Lite. So there are a lot of things you can do in terms of filtering further. But among the things, kalau you tengok kat sini, without going to the advanced search, adalah skills. So normally kita akan try to find people with certain skills, and this is where if you miss out, you will be miss out from the search lah. So that's why I think it is important for all of you to do something like me lah. Fully utilize up to 50 skills and make sure you have the ones that is needed by the company lah. So for example, I could think of, because I'm quite familiar dengan account and finance punya department. So I think for a junior one, you might need to know a bit of account receivable. You might need to know a bit about bookkeeping. Ada tak bookkeeping? You need to know a bit about perhaps you need to know perhaps about account payable. Accounts payable, you might need to know a bit about reconciliation, right? Just giving an example. So daripada 7,000 tadi, you see, by putting up some more skills, I further narrow it down to 4,500 candidate with these 4 skills, with whom location is in KL. Okay, then there's a lot more things that you can do. You know, you can perhaps, for example, nak cari candidate for certain schools ataupun certain graduation date, because for example, you just nak cari orang yang ada 1-2 tahun pengalaman. So given the fact that this year is 2021 and you just want to look for someone who has maximum 2 years experience and below, you can then add graduation range. So I can take, you know, from 2009, 2019, 2022 perhaps, you know, because I do not want again, for example, tak nak fresh graduate yang tak ada experience langsung. So mungkin just nak ambil the one yang ada experience. So kalau kat sini you boleh tengok it further narrow down to 364. Tapi kalau I tambah 2021 jadi 467. Okay, let's do this. So you see how LinkedIn Recruiter really help in terms of the recruiters to further zoom to the right candidates without in terms of nak cari the right candidates with certain criteria that have been set by the hiring manager. Alright, so and then you can do a lot more other things, you know, by maybe the person come from, like I said, companies, industries, any keywords and so on, and you can further then use the advanced version to further narrow down. Okay, so this is LinkedIn Recruiter. I'm glad that I managed to show you the glimpse of LinkedIn Recruiter and why it is important for you to have put all the skills needed in your profile. Any other questions? I have 3 minutes before we end. History, laws, business, yes, business admin, laws, engineering, history and civilization. Yeah, later after the break we can, you know, take it further, because I will show you more practical stuff. Is it possible for us to put our position or experience in the society for the LinkedIn experience? May I ask what is actually giving a request for recommendation? All right, I think your experience in society best if you put it under mana you can put it because at sections, let me answer that about featured background, work, volunteer, licenses, volunteer. So for example, if it is volunteer experience, you can capture it under volunteer experience, and then additional information. If it is club, language and organization, accomplishment, organization name, position, help. You can put it under organization. rather than experience lah, because it's not much about experience, it's about your involvement in certain organization lah, club, society and whatnot. So you might want to choose this lah. Okay. So if I can show you again, add section, and then you can search under accomplishment, organization. Okay. And then for example, organization ni normally macam club apa semua is associated during masa jadi university student. So you can associatekan masa bila. That's how you do it. Right? And then for example, organization ni club, blah 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 blah. And then position help, president, yeah. Membership ongoing, and then month bila. Alright, you can do that. Alright. So what else? May I ask what is actually giving and request recommendation? Should we put our full name? Yes. Again, I put my name Amierul Azraie. You can either put my full name is Amierul Azraie bin Mustaza, but for LinkedIn I just put Amierul Azraie. Should we use English only? I think the best for you to use English, especially if you are looking to be, if you are looking to work for multinational, MNC company, multinational or international companies, you know. And then I think I have answered this. So Arif Kasri, to answer what is actually giving and request recommendation, let me try to show it once again. So basically, you can ask for recommendation. You know, basically you ask from someone that you know. How to ask for example. So who do you want to ask? So you can ask, for example, I can just, you know, for example, hantar dekat my ex-colleague masa kat Pure. So position at the time adalah senior manager, right? Select a relationship. I'll guess was senior to you but didn't manage directly. Okay, right. And then so this is how you can ask for recommendation lah. But like I said, you know, people are busy. You know, people have their job and they need to focus on. Very seldom that people will have time to really go sit down like today, that like what I'm doing to all of you, and you know, put out their creative juice to write recommendation for you. So but again, to start with, you can do like this as an example, but it will make more sense for you to draft the recommendation and then give it to the person who you would like the person to recommend you. So again, I'm giving you example. This is the one that I received. Without some of them I asked, macam my former subordinate, I cakap dia kena tulis something about me, you know. So he wrote this, tak tahu ikhlas ke tak ikhlas tu belakang cerita lah, but he wrote this for me. And then this is my coachee, and I have also given to a few people like Satish, because you know he helped me write this out, like Nadia as well, and then like Shakti is also one of my coachee. So he also draft it for me to give him the recommendation. All right, so I think it's already 3 minutes past the break time. So what I will do, I will stop here for now. You can put all your questions to the chat session after we take a break of about 10 minutes. What I will do, I will show you some practical in terms of how to start job hunting using LinkedIn, and how you can then use it to full advantage of yours. Okay, that's all for now, and I think we can continue with the break. Izzati.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Amierul Azraie, for that very informative session. So we will now take a short break for 10 minutes, and you may go and grab a cup of tea or coffee, and we will resume shortly. Our session, and I once again call upon Mr. Amierul Azraie bin Mustaza. Please be welcome.
All right. Okay, let's continue. What I will do now, wait, let me see the chat. Okay, all right. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
All right, okay. What I will do adalah to, okay. I'll try to answer a few questions first. So, for example, Nur Farhana Syahira ada share LinkedIn dia, tapi still tak customize. What I will do now, I will show once again so that all of you akan boleh customize your URL lah. So what I will do, I akan tunjuk lagi sekali. So pergi dekat you punya nama, you click your name, and then on the top right of your profile ada apa yang ditulis sebagai edit public profile and URL. Take note, benda ni hanya akan appear kalau you buka on your laptop, desktop lah, menggunakan browser. So you tekan edit, and then akan ada lagi sebelah kanan atas edit your custom URL. You tekan icon pencil tu, this is where you customize lah. So dia must contain at least 3 letters up to 100 lah, tapi you want to keep it short, and kalau boleh keep it just your name lah. So sama ada macam I choose Amierul Azraie, so it can be Azraie Mustaza ataupun Amierul A Mustaza, and yang mana yang you boleh customize selagi dia orang kata as long as you can save it lah, because some of the URL has been taken, especially kalau ada nama-nama yang common lah. So once you have saved it, you tekan me, you pergi view profile, and it should be already shortened. Okay, so that's for Farhana. And then what is first, second, and third profile? What is first, second, and third in the profile name? Okay. So if you ask me, sebagai contoh, let me take one example. Amira Zafrina. Tengok sekejap. Amira Zafrina adalah, so Amira Zafrina adalah kat belakang ni adalah third connection. Jadi maksudnya if I can give example, sekejap I tengok Sabrina Maria. Okay, right. So ini Sabrina Maria yang contacted me. So Sabrina Maria is already my first connection, meaning I and Sabrina adalah directly connected. Okay. But I dengan Sabrina Maria punya kawan might be second connection. Sebagai contoh, ini yang common. Okay. Sebagai contoh, Sabrina punya kawan by the name of whoever else lah. So I dengan Sabrina punya kawan, because we are not connected on LinkedIn, so itu adalah my second connection. Dan I kepada kawan Sabrina punya kawan adalah third connection. Dia konsep kawan atas kawan lah. So whoever that dia bukan konsep friend, dia konsep connection. So because LinkedIn adalah a professional network, it is not a friendship macam Facebook. LinkedIn adalah, sebab tu kalau you tengok dekat LinkedIn, you can actually add, if I'm not mistaken, you can add up to 30,000 connections Itu limit lah. So far I think LinkedIn limitkan sampai 30,000 connection, but LinkedIn allow you to follow and LinkedIn allow you to be followed. So for example macam whoever yang follow, you can macam siapa yang you follow and siapa yang follow you, something like that lah. Okay, so to answer that, first connection is like macam I dengan Sabrina I dengan Sabrina tadi adalah first connection. I dengan kawan Sabrina adalah second connection. I kepada kawan Sabrina punya adik perhaps third connection, something like that. Okay. So apakah beza first, second, third connection ni? Kalau you menggunakan LinkedIn yang free macam apa yang most people gunakan, it's just that a case macam I sekarang ni I sign up for 1 month free trial. Okay, LinkedIn juga have from time to time dia bagi, yalah sebab I think all of you faham konsep freemium. LinkedIn adalah platform yang menggunakan konsep freemium lah. Dia bagi you banyak benda free, tapi for you to have certain access you kena bayar. So tapi from time to time kalau dia nak pancing you untuk sign up untuk bayar, dia akan bagi 1 month free trial juga. So like my case, I tengah sign up for LinkedIn Recruiter for 1 month trial, because I just take advantage of the 1 month trial so that I can find candidates for my company that I'm currently working with, yang mana akan ended tomorrow. So tomorrow before they start charging my credit card, I basically akan just cut off je lah. Okay. So what I'm trying to say here is that there are a lot of things that you can do on LinkedIn, but still there's a limitation to that, which akan force you untuk perlu menggunakan premium. But my opinion, my suggestion adalah you can, for example, kalau I boleh tunjuk contoh to answer that, so that I hope everyone has the clarity. For example, people, I can select people and then I can select connections. Connection ni yang I kata first, second, third. So sebagai yang soalan tadi lah. So I tunjuk dulu example first. Kalau first connection ada dalam 20,000, so for example orang macam recruiter dekat McKinsey ni, I boleh message dia directly. Hi Emily, bla bla bla. Okay, I boleh message dia sebab she is already my first connection. Itu satu kelebihan kalau orang tu first connection dengan you. You boleh message dia directly. Kedua adalah you boleh tengok dia punya contact info. You boleh tengok dia punya personal email. Kalau dia ada mobile number, you boleh tengok mobile number and so on and so forth lah. Okay, tapi kalau orang tu adalah boleh nampak ni semua orang?
Boleh.
Alright. So okay, tapi second connection pula adalah, I bagi contoh second connection macam ni, Joanne C ni. So kalau you tengok, because I haven't connected dengan dia lagi, as a first connection, I tak boleh nak, tapi dalam case I boleh sebab I masih sign up so called premium lah. So ni tak ideal case untuk I tunjuk. Tapi kalau dia kalau you tak gunakan LinkedIn premium, you tak boleh message dia. Tapi dalam my case boleh sebab I tengah menggunakan 1 month free trial tu. Nampak tak? Tapi again, I boleh message dia pun bukan dekat LinkedIn biasa, dekat LinkedIn Recruiter. Nampak tak? Faham tak apa yang I tengah cuba sampaikan ni? Hello.
Faham. Yes, faham. Sangat jelas ya.
Okay, so basically kalau orang tu bukan you punya first connection, you tak boleh message dia directly. You must sign up for LinkedIn Premium. But then again, why nak sign up LinkedIn Premium? You connect je lah dengan dia. Itu je lah yang I nak beritahu, you know. Because LinkedIn bukan menggunakan konsep macam Facebook, you know, bukannya friends, dia adalah connection. And then I think certain group of people, especially HR talent, diorang memang akan okay je untuk connect dengan you as because they are also looking for talents. Alright, so that's my answer to that. Apa lagi nak jawab? So first, second, third tu connection, I hope I dah answer. Lepas tu I dah tunjuk Farhana macam mana nak shorten. How is the proper way to connect with people, the big people? The big people ni you kena sama-sama jadi besar macam orang tak. So for example, I think again, why I personally memang suka LinkedIn adalah you can easily connect and be in touch with anyone, you know. So to answer you what is the proper way, honestly, because you know, I already on LinkedIn for quite some time and I've been you know, building my network. To answer you, I memang directly add je tanpa hantar ayat-ayat, you know, ayat-ayat intro ke apa ke. Tapi what you can do, I think if you search for example the Muse, how to connect with people with C-suites sebagai contoh, suites on LinkedIn. Sekejap tengok apa yang keluar. Okay, this might be a good one. So right, so basically for example katakanlah you nak cari siapa, katakanlah kita cuba contoh people to show again benda yang terus real punya example lah. You can go to all filters, you boleh cari title CEO, show results, and then you cari location Malaysia. These are all people dengan title CEO, okay. So and they are a CEO dekat Malaysia lah. So again, you boleh apa yang you boleh buat, you can always, you know, check out dia orang punya profile and then connect, and then bila nak connect tu you can add a note lah. So write a simple note lah. Hi Anbar, you know, it is I mean, you boleh basically just think about telling people why you want to connect and whatnot lah. You know, for example, I have been following you ataupun following your company on LinkedIn, blah 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 blah, and I think I would appreciate ataupun I would be glad, you know, if we can be connected on LinkedIn so that I can continue to goreng lah sikit ayat dia. So this is the way you can connect with people regardless lah CEO ke bukan CEO ke and whatnot, okay. But kalau I just connect je lah, you know. But if you want to make a good impression, you write a simple intro lah. You know, again, all of this you boleh Google je how to write a simple intro message to connect with people. I'm sure there are a lot of articles that will come out lah. Okay. Apa lagi? Kalau nak jawab, faham LinkedIn approach. Okay, alright. Sudah tak ada. Kalau ada lagi boleh continue untuk tanya. So what I want to do now adalah I want to share my slides. Sekejap I want to share my slides. Okay. So I want to share my slides and then later kita akan jump balik kepada LinkedIn. So basically now that you see the potential of LinkedIn in terms of how many companies are there on LinkedIn, how many people are there on LinkedIn, I think it doesn't make sense if you do not be on LinkedIn, you know, if you do not spend your time to look up for jobs on LinkedIn. So basically once you have a so-called all-star profile, sekejap lagi I tunjuk where you can see this all-star profile, you can start using LinkedIn to job hunting, okay. So dia ada a few cara. One of the way adalah dengan search yang I highlight kat sini. Kejap lagi kita tengok. Yang kedua adalah dengan tekan ikon back dekat atas jobs lah, okay. And then nanti kejap lagi I akan tunjuk macam mana you can use certain information untuk write email cover letter lah. And I will come back to this shortly after this. Okay, what I want to impart to all of you adalah kita we again lah, I mean I live in a period ataupun in an era whereby back then my brother, my older brother masih job hunting menggunakan dengan basically traditional way, you know, print out CV, print out cover letter atas A4, masukkan dalam envelope, pergi beli stamp pula, you know, tampal dekat envelope A4, tulis nama company dan post. But itu semua adalah zaman yang dah berlalu lah, in my opinion. You know, nowadays semua benda mostly digital, and apply pun sama ada guna email ataupun apply on all the job portals ataupun job channel lah. Jadi what I'm trying to say here that back then it is not possible at all. For example, if you are for example, boleh tak semua bagi contoh company yang any that you want to aim for? Boleh tak cuba tunjuk, boleh tak tulis company yang you nak masuk, yang you are aiming for? Bagi 2-3 contoh dekat chat so that I can start using it as an example. KPMG, Petronas, okay, letak. Alright, let's take a look. Ambil yang first one lah, Hakim, Accenture. Alright. Back then, 15, 20, 25 years back, there is no way you akan tahu siapa HR yang bekerja dekat Accenture, siapa hiring manager dekat Accenture, siapa C-suites dekat Accenture. Betul tak? Betul ke tak betul? Ke 25 tahun lepas masih tak hidup lagi kat dunia ni? So, betul alright. So but LinkedIn make it possible for you to know who you will be in touch for. For example, this is where I think you need to pay attention because kita ada lebih kurang dalam 30 minit je, and I try to impart as much knowledge as possible. Sebagai contoh, what I will do, and I take Accenture as an example. I will take Accenture Malaysia. Alamak, sebab Accenture Malaysia Student and Graduate Careers. Sebagai contoh, internship ataupun go to graduate page, and then okay, akan ada application process. So macam you know, so dia beritahu apa proses dia, tapi sebagai contoh, join our team, search. Okay, for example, search open position ya. Ini adalah job dekat Accenture. So sebagai contoh, I just ambil contoh, ambil satu contoh je, business operations specialist. So let's keep it to this first. Lepas tu pergi balik kepada LinkedIn. Apa yang I akan buat, again sebagai contoh, macam I cakap, you boleh pergi search, you pergi company, then you boleh cari, ataupun apa yang you boleh buat, you boleh cari Accenture. Okay, so far follow tekan Accenture. Bila you dah pergi ke Accenture, apa yang you boleh buat, you boleh follow the company. Alright, so one of the thing yang I akan suggest adalah follow. So you tekan follow. Bila you dah tekan follow, feed you akan start masuk dengan Accenture punya apa-apa yang dia update lah. Itu satu. Kemudian kalau you tengok dekat sini, dia akan tulis berapa banyak employees yang ada yang associated with Accenture on LinkedIn. So you click that about 459,000. Alright, and then like I said, try to start familiarizing yourself dengan filter di LinkedIn. What you should do adalah, you nak apply kerja Accenture Malaysia, so locations you pilih Malaysia, right? So if I jadi you, apa yang I akan buat, I akan connect with 3 groups of people. Siapa 3 groups of people ni adalah, the first group adalah orang-orang HR, especially orang yang buat recruitment. So the names can be recruiter, recruitment, talent sourcing, talent acquisition, talent management, and so on and so forth lah. Kemudian adalah second group of people adalah the hiring manager. So jangan confuse hiring dengan HR. Hiring manager ni adalah orang yang akan hire for that particular role. Sebagai contoh, chemical engineer ataupun process engineer, dia punya hiring manager most likely the engineering manager. itulah hiring manager. Alright. And then itu second group of people. Sebagai contoh IT executive, dia punya hiring manager mungkin apa namanya IT manager, you know. And then the third group of people adalah the decision maker lah, all the C-suite executive, CEO, CFO, CTO, and so on and so forth. So this is what I mentioned earlier, that back then 15, 20, 25 years ago, not possible for you to find these people untuk tahu siapa diorang, apa nama diorang dan sebagainya. Tapi for example, katakanlah you dah ni, apa yang you boleh buat adalah, sebagai contoh, katakanlah you nak cari orang, you nak cari orang yang dalam HR. So I ulang balik, you tekan all filters. Apa yang you boleh buat, dekat bawah sekali keywords, you letak title. You can start dengan letak title HR. Okay. So dekat sini you nampak ada berapa orang dengan title HR, and you boleh nampak apa yang diorang biasa gunakan. Diorang guna recruiter sebagai contoh. So you ubahlah keyword you kepada recruiter pula. Okay, kalau you tukar kepada recruiter, you akan jumpa lagi ramai lah. Ni sebab hari tu saya buat saya buat coaching, saya tengah cakap pasal Accenture tu sebab saya tengah add ramai orang yang pending lah. Anyway, alright. So bila you dah ada macam ni, at least you tahu who you can reach out. And then sebagai contoh, katakanlah you nak cari, again, kalau you nak tengok siapa decision maker dia, you can always search, for example, CEO. Ada tak CEO? Mungkin ada, mungkin tak ada. Kenapa ini semua? Sebab ada CEO development program ni lah. So this is where you punya search kena lagi ni lah, lagi narrow down. Let's say managing director. Okay. So there are a few managing directors lah associate dengan this company. So they are basically managing director for certain division, I believe. So and these are the people that you might want to connect with, you know. So these are most likely all the decision makers related lah. Okay. But apa guna connect dengan diorang ni? For me is simple. Katakanlah you memang dah ada position, you dah tahu ada vacancy macam ni, you know, business operations specialist, you know, ataupun any lah, ni just nak ambil contoh. You can always apply dekat sini, but the fact that you are connected with someone, I nak tunjuk contoh, ada tak Azraie? Okay, I bagi contoh terus lah. Accenture sebagai contoh, I know this guy because this guy is my super senior lah. Okay, but then again, kalau you punya, you punya search tu betul, most likely you can also find the guy lah. Okay, so again, kalau you dah ada, you tahu ada kerja kosong kat sini, you dah connect dengan HR, you dah connect dengan hiring manager, and you dah connect dengan decision maker, don't you think you akan stand a bigger chance or a higher chance kalau you hantar an email yang ialah online pun you dah apply, but an email yang akan bypass the system, and orang tu akan dapat email you directly. Sebagai contoh, I can say that orang bekerja ni, antara benda yang diorang memang akan tengok every day, celik mata je tengok apa, check email kerja, you know. So why don't you send an email to them? So dengan connect dengan people on LinkedIn, most likely you akan, macam saya cakap, you go to contact info, apa yang you boleh dapat. Okay, dalam kes Azwan tak boleh dapat apa sangat. Okay, tapi I nak bagi tunjuk contoh je lah. Tunjuk contoh, sebagai contoh Azwan. Azwan Baharudin. Tak ada kat sini. Tapi dalam kes ni adalah I dapat, because I know him, I recommend someone lah. But what I'm trying to say here adalah kalau you ada email anyone and you tahu ada kerja kosong, it will be easier kalau you boleh hantar one email lah. Sebagai contoh, I bagi tunjuk contoh back then. So I hantar an email to this guy bila I nampak ada job kosong dekat LinkedIn. and I connected with this guy. So I hantar dekat email dia, and then I hantar hari Ahad, hari Isnin dia dah reply dengan respon dan set phone call interview, you know. And this guy, I still connected dengan dia untuk tunjuk bukti kat you lah. Okay, contact info, ada email address dia, nampak? So at least dengan buat macam ni, what I can say and what I can tell many of you that at least when I did dengan cara macam ni, dapatlah at least a phone call interview. And I've done this back in 2015, you know, 6 years ago. Satu contoh. Contoh lain, ada juga I email this guy. Again, kalau you nak tengok, dia sekarang adalah Chief HR Officer dekat Aeon. Okay. Back then dia kerja dekat Teknik. So kalau tengok ni, again, dekat sini ada Gmail dia je. Tapi back then, I can get dia punya email dekat Teknik. Right? So I write email macam ni, pukul 2.27 petang, pukul 3.17 petang dah respon. Dan dia forwardkan kepada kawan dia yang in charge of recruitment. Okay, dan contoh ketiga adalah
I'm sorry, Mr. Amierul. I received some comment from the participant. They ask you to speak fully in English because there's
okay, all right.
Friend here. Thank you.
Okay, can, no problem. Alright, so I thought of making it leisure. Okay, tak apa. So yeah, I can speak in fully English, no worries. So basically, what I'm trying to say here that, for example, another example is that this lady, you know, that I connected on LinkedIn also back then, and then I saw opportunity on JobStreet, and then what I did, I follow up, and then back then I can get his personal email, and then from one of the posts I can get her personal email, and I can also get her office email address. So what I did, I sent out her an email, you know, and then we basically on the same day he responded to me saying that, you know, he also have received from one of my colleague, and then he already forwarded it to talent sourcing. So from there I got a phone call, and for this I got phone call, and I got first stage and second stage interview lah. So what I'm seeing that LinkedIn is full of potential in the sense that if you have a good CV, if you know that the company is hiring for a certain specific position, and you are already connected with someone on LinkedIn as a first connection, you can further harness the potential by looking at their contact info and see what kind of information. Like myself, if you are connected with me, you will get my email and you will get my personal mobile number. So why don't, you know, send an email to the person, and especially kalau you can get the office email address, then you will stand a chance. Why not? Because, you know, you already have a good CV, you know that there's a vacancy yang that you meet the requirements, and then you send directly to the HR recruiter, and perhaps if the person is not the right one, maybe you can tell in your email saying that, you know, please connect with the right people that in charge of that particular recruitment for that particular position, right? So that's what I'm seeing, how you can harness the potential of LinkedIn. Okay. So again, by doing so, if you have any particular industry, any particular company that you are looking and aiming for, this is where you can start follow the company, and also adding people in that company, particularly from 3 group of people, like I mentioned, HR, especially on talent sourcing, talent acquisition, recruitment and whatnot, the hiring managers, as well as the decision makers. Okay, so once you have done that, use and harness the true potential of it. For example, if you have email to them, why not follow up if they share their mobile number? But in order for you to do so, make sure you have a good script. you know, that you mentioned that, hi, I am this person, we are recently connected on LinkedIn, I got your mobile number from your LinkedIn profile. So basically, there's a vacancy in your company. I have applied on the platform online. I have also taken and I also took an initiative. I mean to send an email to the recruiter, to yourself. But I believe that I might, you know, in the current competitive job market, I might, you know, give you a call. So that I can get your attention to take a look at my application. So here I am speaking to you, blah blah. You goreng sikit. I mean, you sell yourself, because especially if the person share his or her mobile number on this kind of platform, meaning it is possible for you to reach out. It's just a matter of how diplomatic you can be in terms of operating, and what's the right step, or what's the right way for you to approach the person, you know, through email, either personal or office, and through mobile, either through WhatsApp or call, or whatever form that you think suitable. But my advice, when you contact people, do not send like as if you are sending message to your friend or your boyfriend or girlfriend, you know, hi, assalamualaikum, and then you expect the person to also hi, assalamualaikum with you. No, that's not the way. Be straightforward immediately of why you are messaging the person, you know, make a short sweet message telling you who you are, why you are contacting, and how they can help you. Because again, I mean, I personally receive a lot of messages, you know, every day, and it can be sometimes, you know, a very short message that, hi, assalamualaikum. So you also then reply, hi, assalamualaikum, and then still it like, you know, messaging with a friend, with, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, that people are busy. Like I told you, people are busy. So if you want to send them a note, you want to send them a message, make sure you make it clear and straightforward what you want to get from them, or what kind of favor or assistance that you might want to get from those people that you are contacting. Okay. So this is an example of an email that I sent out for my job application. It's a simple one. So it's like basically, because I know the person through email and whatnot, and already connected on LinkedIn, you know, my suggestion is make sure you have a good subject. You fill up the subject, because I've seen many email application without subject. And then make sure you address the person appropriately, and then you tell them what position you are applying for, and then just give a brief intro, and then tell them that you enclose your CV, and then tell them how you can be contacted and ready for interview and whatnot, and then put your signature, and perhaps include your LinkedIn URL as an example. And for your CV, make sure you attach your PDF. In this case, I attach a Word file, but normally I would attach PDF file. So I think that's all in terms of that. And then normally in terms of resources, I use a lot. I used to refer a lot to the Muse even until today, and then Harvard Business Review, and I myself wrote a few articles on vocab or the vocab. You can also refer there. And then, yeah, I think that's all from me. And now I open to Q&A session.
All right, so brothers and sisters, so now we have come to the Q&A session. So I hope that you guys can make use of this session. We have another like 30 minutes plus. So if those who have any question, you can just unmute your mic directly, or just type at the chat box. And later on, I will read your questions.
Yep. If you want me to run any other example using the LinkedIn search or LinkedIn recruiter, I am more than happy to do so.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So in your opinion, is it worth it to write articles on LinkedIn?
Worth it from what point of view? From which perspective?
because I'm a student, so my experience is limited. So what I can offer, I personally think what I can offer to the LinkedIn article is not that much. So I was thinking of writing, but then this question haunts me.
Okay, all right. That's a good question. So what I can say, LinkedIn. Let me. How can I exit this? Okay. What I can say is that let's go to LinkedIn. Can you see my LinkedIn?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And all right. So basically, LinkedIn, there are a few features on LinkedIn. Basically, you can either write a post, blah 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 blah, or you can write an article. Okay, what is the difference between a post or an article? An article will allow an article is an article will be indexed on Google. Your post won't be indexed on Google. So if you want to understand it further, for example, if you search myself Amierul Azraie LinkedIn, you will see some of the posts that I've put on LinkedIn article. You can get what I'm trying to say, right? Like this article, 5 tips to make a career change. Meaning to say that you can use article to start building your LinkedIn, not LinkedIn, your online or digital presence. Because let's say if people Google you, either you want to be known or you do not want to be known. In my case, I want myself to be known, so I write articles, and from time to time I also write a lot of posts, right? And to answer the questions just now, what to write, I think there's a lot of things you can write, my dear junior, because for example, what I can say or what I can show, for example, there's a lot of things you can offer to the public, because not many people know everything, right? I mean, we are human, we our knowledge are bound to whatever that we are doing. And what you can share is your so-called little experience. You can always share that. As an example, I used to apa nama this lady, okay, I used to have this lady as my subordinate, okay, Fatin Kasrina, right? Back then I always encourage her to write a post lah, tapi tak berjaya because tak ramai orang suka menulis. I mean, not many people likes to write or have time to write. But like her case, I can show you an example. For example, it's a simple post that like this. I post this about 2 years ago when they work with me, right? So, and then what I asked her to do, I asked her to explain her experience in a structured manner. So, but again, actually I am the one who helping her to write this. So there's a lot of things you can do. You can share your daily experience, in her case, like a very junior HR person, what you do, what you encounter. You can also share motivational posts about your challenges in job hunting, what you encounter, what's your strategy, what's your tactics. You can share about what you learned from me today as an example. So why don't all of you write one post and tag me later on LinkedIn post, and share what you learn and what do you gain from today's session. That could be a good start. Okay, there's a lot of things you can write. I mean, that's my answer to that. Whatever you encounter, whatever you discover, whatever you observe, whatever the pain that you are going through in terms of perhaps job hunting, whatever that you read, you can synthesize and share it with your audience. There's a lot of things, and as you write more, you will discover what are the things that people like to read, and that's how you then can further focus what you want to write. Because as an example, back then 5-6 years ago, I just share what I've learned from my MBA in relations to CV writing, job hunting, LinkedIn, and whatnot. not knowing that, people will appreciate that. But 5-6 years later, here I am speaking to all of you. But if I want to belittle what I learned back then, or thinking that, hey, this is something that I believe many people have learned or know, I won't be here today speaking to all of you. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So there are a lot of things.
Yes.
Yeah. So there are a lot of things you can share, and it has to start. Because again, at the end of today's session, there will be a lot of people who are still not going to start anything. But my advice: start creating your LinkedIn profile, start updating your LinkedIn profile, start writing a post, and eventually it will become a habitual, right? So I hope you can understand the difference between writing a post or and writing an article, and what kind of things that you can write, right? Any other questions?
Hi, Assalamualaikum, sir. How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah.
So if I may ask you a question, my name is Mirza. Despite we're talking about the advanced LinkedIn that you've been showing to us, do you mind to share your opinion or advices for us to when perhaps, yeah, we can, as you mentioned just now, we can start slowly building our LinkedIn, but what would you advise us, since we're still in university, perhaps some in second year or even first year, third year, it has a still long way to go, but quite feeling anxious to see those people with a good representation on their LinkedIn, and feeling like we're so left behind, and especially looking at what the skills that they already have, and we're confused.
Okay. If you ask me, it doesn't matter. The important thing is to start, and don't make this as a race, because eventually, what you need to do is just start. It's just started. And then bila you dah start, it's about being consistent, istiqamah. And as a start, perhaps what you can do, have a profile, and you can see a lot of people who have many followers on LinkedIn, and that we call micro influence, and have engaging posts. So as a start, for you to be visible, and the beauty of LinkedIn, whenever you post on someone else or you commented on someone else's post, you can show that you have the brain. You can comment about the issues that they presented. You can comment about the thing that they are raising, and by commenting on their post, you can show the thought process that you have. It can show how articulative you can be, and what more, your profile will be visible, because it will comes to people feed. For example, maybe what I can see here, see, this is the kind what I say. When you comment to someone, there are certain things that will appear, and this is the way that you can make your profile visible. Sometimes they will show one or two comments that is relevant, or have engagement, something like that. So for example, you can take anyone. For example, Tony Fernandez. I just giving an example for someone that is famous. So see all activity, and what you can do, you go to the post. Katakanlah, I mean, let's say you really want to get into Air Asia Digital, you can engage, for example, seeing that, you can comment, yes, that's true, we have been living blah 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 blah, and you comment, and your comment will appear in one of the famous guy posts, that have, you see, easily 1,200 reactions with 50 comments. And this is how you will easily start to make your profile visible. Okay, among other things that you can do, there are a lot of other things you can do anyway. I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
All right. Anyone else have question, or if not, I just take one simple question here. What's the difference between connect and follow? So like I mentioned, LinkedIn allow people to connect up to 30,000 people. All right, like myself, I already connected with 20,000 people. Follow is basically you won't be connecting with the person, but you will just following his or her post. And in my case, I have changed. If you see my profile, I have changed rather than connect to follow. For example, let's say Tony Fernandez. Okay, so you can connect or you can follow. So connect is allowing you to become the first connection if the person is a second connection, or follow will allow you to just get his or her updates without making him or her as your first connection. Right? I do hope I answered the question. I hope I make it clear enough. Right. May I ask, is there a strategy to stand out on LinkedIn? What kind of contents can we post? Right. I think I have answered this quite sometimes, several times. It's about writing a post. You start writing something. There's a lot of things you can write even at young age. You can talk about anything, about whatever that you have passion about, whatever that you think that is worth sharing, about about motivational, about your observation, about your what you think of current situation, about what solutions or what suggestions, opinions you can offer. Maybe from one or two posts you won't get any reaction, because if your connection is only 50 people and they are all your friends, maybe not. So start by engaging also in other people's posts. So that is how you drive people to connect with you, to follow you. All right. How to arrange info in LinkedIn if I am crossing? Tak faham. How to arrange the info on LinkedIn if I'm crossing my field? What does it mean? Anyone can explain?
I think maybe he took other field of in his learning. For example, he took Islamic studies, but then he want to cross field maybe to architecture. Maybe is it what is mean by that?
Okay, I'm not sure. But basically, normally, as far as I understand, I mean, you can arrange it again. Your experience in terms of reverse chronological order. But in terms of the information, you can showcase the information that is important for the role or the field that you are about to cross or to make a career change. Because like example, like I told you that I came from engineering background. But for my skills, I didn't mention much about engineering. In the 50, that is one way of showing what kind of info should be there on LinkedIn. So you can again further rearrange information on the experience, on the skills, to suit the next role or the next career change that you are making. All right. Can you show me, for fresh graduate engineering student, what skills usually the recruiter searching for? If you ask me again, I also just Google. For example, you just Google. I mean, what are the skills needed for engineering graduate in Malaysia? You will come a few more. You will come to a few things, and from there you start and plug it back to the skills that I mentioned just now. All right. So this is journals. Yeah. So I think there's a lot. So, but again, in the current world that we are living, due to pandemic and people have to work independently and remotely, I think among the things, talking about general, you can talk about things like interpersonal skills. You can talk about communication skills. It can be your writing skills, presentation skills. It can be about how you can work collaboratively, teamwork, collaboration and whatnot. So there's a lot. Then for particularly to engineering students, perhaps the softwares that the systems that you use, the what else, as an example, AutoCAD, the tools, So those are the things that I think worth mentioning. Article helps in SEO, yes. What kind of contents are relevant to post on frequent basis on LinkedIn? For example, can we share program engagement, some volunteer? Yes, can. I think it makes sense, you know, because LinkedIn is a professional place where, you know, people share about their opinions, about insight on certain issues, about things like about, you know, social activities, volunteer work. It makes sense. Okay. All right. Any other questions? 20 more minutes.
Sir.
Yes.
So just now you said that competency have three angles: knowledge, skill, and ability. So what is the difference between skills and abilities?
Skills. Skills is more on the things that you acquire. Let me help get an article to. Okay, competencies is basically is a term used. Competencies, if you see, competencies in HR, right? So it will be not competency in HR. What is, I give you what is competencies. Jumpa tak? But basically competencies are knowledge. See, this is what it is: knowledge, skills, abilities. And now is you're asking what's the difference, right? So what I can say that to show it easily, let's see, knowledge versus skills, right? All right, so here it will explain to you about what are they, right? So knowledge is the theoretical or understanding benda, the one that you learn, you know, from school, from a subject, you know. Skills are the things that you gain throughout training or experience. Abilities, on the other hand, like it mentioned here, qualities of being able to do something, you know. For example, to make it easier to answer the abilities part, everyone can write an article, but how many people can write an article that move people, that touch the heart of the people, that can make people cry or find that the article is beautifully written, right? So that is abilities. Am I answering your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Right. Okay. Any other questions? Anyone? Chat. Boleh tak buat link in dalam BM? I think I have answered this. If you are narrowing down your scope to only be employed by people who only understand Malay language, then yes, why not? But why don't you make it to make it into a bigger scope and allow, you know, people, international people, to also connect with you and employ you. Okay. Any other questions? Is it possible to use LinkedIn to apply scholarship? Not that I am aware of so far, but again, information about those scholarships might be presented by those organizations. As an example, I think recently Yayasan Peneraju advertised about their scholarship program. So you can see whether you can find such thing. See, ada ni. So you may not be able to. Yeah, you can. Can you see here?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. menarik statusnya ke dalam atau sebab dia punya. To update status on LinkedIn again, like I said, it based on what you want to share. It can be your observation, it can be your insights, it can be your opinions, it can be about your job hunting process. It can be about how you discover the best way of writing a CV. It can be about what you learn from today's session. You know, it can be many things, as long as you keep it within professional space. Okay. There is no hard fast rule about this, but I mean, you can observe what other people write about, and then from there you can make your own decision, your own way of writing. People can write in Malay as well, and people can also write in English. I don't see any issue. I personally write a lot of posts in English, but just to attract certain crowd, I also sometimes write in Malay. Okay, aside from LinkedIn, what other things can we especially do to find jobs? Aside from LinkedIn, I personally think if you really fully utilize LinkedIn in terms of this search, there are a lot of jobs. Again, if you find jobs in Malaysia, you can see that there are 40,000 jobs in Malaysia. Without I typing anything, these are the jobs are currently being advertised on LinkedIn. There are 40,000 jobs advertised on LinkedIn. And if you can again explore all the filters like I said, and then you can it's about exploring. I think is the best tool. But to answer that question, there are one more thing that I've discovered recently called Google Jobs. So if you search jobs, you will come across this blue color stuff. Siapa tu? If you click this blue color stuff, where you think Google tabulate all the jobs being advertised on LinkedIn, so you can easily find all the jobs without having to go to other place on what I refer to here as Google Jobs. Follow this one to answer the questions of one of your friends. Boleh cadangkan LinkedIn untuk dijadikan contoh. I think there's a lot lah. I mean, you just have to discover all the micro influencers and whatnot. And just to answer, just to show something. This is what I mean by all-star profile. If you see on your dashboard, if your profile is already completed, it will appear to be all-star profile, meaning you have all the necessary information sections completed. Boleh cadangkan LinkedIn untuk dijadikan contoh, jadikan LinkedIn saya lah. Alright. No, but there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of people you can take an example. No one in particular crossed my mind. There's a lot of people. As an example, this one also, Muihan, is also someone, my friend, who is very famous on LinkedIn, that writes a lot of things. In terms of if you want to find career coach, this is another lady that also write a lot of stuff. If you want to find someone a bit junior, cannot come across my mind for now. But if I come across one or two good profile of junior people, I will share with Sabrina later. Can we use LinkedIn? I have mentioned. Can find job here, job street. Yeah, correct. Oversee. Okay. If you don't mind, regarding resume, can you share tips on how to deal with ATS system? I'm not sure what all of you have been told about ATS system, but I think ATS so far that I have discovered, the fact that I haven't been to the biggest companies in Malaysia or in the world, but I have been to companies like Sapura, Kencana, or now Sapura Energy, Technip, Pure Circle, listed on London Stock Exchange. ATS is basically just, most of the time to help the companies to keep track of the applications of the candidates, but not really much about immediately screen or filter you from the system. So I'm not sure any advice I'm not sure whether you receive any advice that how to beat ATS, but for me, there is nothing much to worry about how to beat ATS, because again, not many companies, you can know the companies are using ATS or not if, for example, I can give you example, if you go for jobs, if you go for jobs, see more jobs, okay, let me take one example. Okay, EY. So those that ask you to get out from LinkedIn as an example and direct to their website, most likely this company like this are using ATS. But then again, as long as you apply, for example, nowadays they have even asked you to apply for LinkedIn, so that's why I said you don't have to worry much about beating the ATS, because as long as you have a complete LinkedIn profile, as an example, you can complete them, and then you can put all of the information, and then you can submit your resume and CV that is well written. I think that is sufficient and nothing much for you to worry. So like this, the ATS is success factor. So you can then Google what is success factor if you want to discover more. See, SAP success factor. So you can further discover and read about it. There are a lot of people who are talking about ATS, but I personally do not, because I've seen a lot of people who are not even a recruiter talking about ATS. So I'm not sure what do they know about ATS. But to give you assurance, there is nothing for you to worry about ATS that much. That's what I can say. But again, you can go and discover more about it. But for me, that should not be a concern, given whatever that I have shown you, how you can beat the system, how you can bypass the system and make your application stand out in the inbox of the right people. So that's how you can beat the system smartly. Any questions? 7 more minutes. Rina. Anyone else?
There's one question here, sir, from Brother Shukri. What is your advice for a people that currently seeking for a job? Maybe in terms of skills?
What is your advice for people that currently seeking for a job? Maybe in terms of skills. Oh, that's a very general question. How can I answer this? My advice, I think at least from today's session, I have equipped all of you with one of the best tool that I can find that all of you can use. LinkedIn is definitely one of the best tools. I have also shown you how you can connect with people, how you can start network with people. I have also shown you 1 or 2 example on how you can write a good email application. So, and to add, in terms of skills, I think we are living in the world that, you know, post-pandemic, I think many things will change. What I would love youngsters to know and to do is to make yourself someone who continue to learn, have a growth mindset. You can Google about this, you know, growth mindset versus fixed mindset. And so many people that I've met, you know, have fixed mindset, and sometimes you cannot blame these people for having fixed mindset because they come from environment that only mold them in that manner. So if you can Google more about growth mindset versus fixed mindset, you will discover more. Listen to TED Talk, you know, you can go to YouTube, search TED Talk, and find a lot of videos that talk about growth mindset, fixed mindset. So be the one with growth mindset, because I think growth mindset will cover many things. Because when you have growth mindset, you will want to learn more, you will want to discover more, you will want to innovate, you will want to improve. Yeah, so I think growth mindset is the one thing that you want to have in yourself. Anyone, regardless of fresh graduates or experienced professional that are currently looking for a job. But if you talk about skills, there are many other things. I mean, like communication skills, collaboration, team player, writing skills, presentation skills, you know, all these knowing, I mean, planning skills, and many other skills. But at the end of the day, I think it bogged down to interpersonal skills. What are the things that you have certain abilities and qualities that other people don't, and how you can further polish those skills, right?
Sorry, sir.
Yes.
Can you repeat back, because in terms of, can we use the LinkedIn Aid to search for scholarship or to apply PG studies overseas?
No, I think to answer that, again, you can, for example, you can follow whoever companies or universities that are advertising for scholarships and whatnot on LinkedIn. But at the end of the day, for example, like Yayasan Peneraju recently talk about asking people to send application. You know, they post on LinkedIn, but then you still have to apply online on their website. At the end of the day, you still have to go to apply to those specific website. But you can find the information on the particular organization or university LinkedIn page. Okay.
All right, sir, I think one last question maybe from
Yep.
Sister Zehra. She's asking for, after getting approached by a recruiter through LinkedIn, what are the things that we should highlight on our resume? And maybe do you have any tips for the interview process?
I think if you are being approached by any recruiter, first of all, make sure that the person is not a scam. Secondly, if you are sure the person is not a scam, then you can start connecting by sending your updated CV, perhaps in PDF, and then whatever that you want to highlight, make sure it align with the job that they are asking you to apply for. And then to prepare for the interview process, I think what you should do is that prepare for a few things. You should prepare to answer to answer question on tell me about yourself. You should prepare and anticipate the kind of questions that will be that people will ask in terms of common questions, like your strengths, your weaknesses, your greatest achievements, and there are many questions that you can anticipate. And then job related or technical related questions, that one I leave it to you to discover that, because different background will have different requirements in terms of job related questions. and then behavior questions that you can ask, that you can answer using STAR method. And then you should also be prepared to ask for some questions to the interviewers. Okay, what I will do shortly, I will give you something that you can refer to. I will provide some information in regarding to interview preparation shortly after this on the chat. Okay, that's all I think.
All right, I think that's all we can stop until that. All right, so thank you very much, Mr. Amierul Azraie, for a very insightful answer. So brothers and sisters, we have now come to the end of our event. I would like to once again express my deepest gratitude to our guest speaker, Mr. Amierul Azraie bin Mustazah, for the outstanding and informative input for today's workshop. I'm sure that we have all benefited a lot from the session, and I would also like to thank to all audiences for sparing your time and joining us for today's session. So once again, I would like to remind all participants to fill in the feedback form, which has been provided in the chat box. And with that, we have come to the end of our job hunting, LinkedIn or left out workshop. I sincerely apologize for any shortcomings from our side. So before we end, let's have a photography session as usual. So brothers and sisters,